we're going to bring in the next big stupid here in a minute. Phil Salvador, he will be playing with the Wonder Tools Cruiser. You're not going to want to miss this, but first, if you've just come here, either you showed up for QDOT and you're like, who the hell am I? Or you're here to see Phil and you also are like, who the hell am I? I will tell you, I am Lane Nooney. I'm the managing editor of ROMchip, a journal of game histories. We are an open access hybrid audience online venue for the publication of game history, and we crowdfund to make publishing game history possible. What this means is that we develop, solicit, edit, and publish work across a range of formats, from like very, very serious academic peer-reviewed articles to transcripts of oral histories, object lessons, and translations across the gamut of video games, board games, analog games, sports, and play. Second, we are all open access. We have no paywall, no advertising, no login. We're all online. You never have to pay anything to read the work published in ROMchip. And lastly, we're a hybrid audience, which means we don't think you should need a PhD to be able to write for or interview for or read ROMchip. And I think the fact that we are doing all of this live on Twitch should really give you a sense that we see game history as a Big Ten. Our current Tier 1 fundraising goal, you can see right below, we're aiming towards $7,000. That pays our operating costs, our hosting fees, our copy editor. We're so close to that goal. Beyond that, we have a $9,000 and a top tier $11,000 goal. Every dollar we get closer to those goals means we can pay more writers, more translators, more folks to make more game history possible. You can check out the journal at romchip.org. And if you want to donate.romchip.com. ROMchip is funded only by our fans and supporters. So smash that link if you like. And so now, it is my pleasure. I am balls fueled right now. That's what I have to say. It is my pleasure to bring on our next streamer. He is a what we call an old friend of the journal, Phil Salvador. Can we get Phil up here? Pull in Phil. Oh wow, Phil. Okay. Phil, where's your audio, boy?
Whoops, there we go. Hello.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
So if you are in the retro gaming community or the game preservation community, Phil Salvador needs no introduction. He is the library director of the Video Game History Foundation. He's done volunteer work for MagFest in his previous lives. That's how I first met Phil many years ago. He is an indefatigable...
You first met me when I ran into you at a party in New York, and you're like, "Oh, you're Lane Nooney," and you were really confused.
That's right. It was at it was at No Quarter for Game Center, and I met a fan IRL, and it was maybe the first time that it ever happened. I didn't know what to do with myself. Phil is an incredible defender of game history. It's what he eats, sleeps, breathes, and cubes, and he is here for I'm working on it, man. Okay, I'm on balls 1.25 at this point.
Oh God!
He's here for a 2-hour block to help bring, and I think if anyone can get us on the runway, I think we're gonna smash 7K. That feels pretty obvious, and if anyone can get us on a runway to 9, I think that's gonna be Phil. Phil, yesterday you posted an image of your setup, and you called it the Big Stupid. There's a kind of funny backstory that explains how we got to this situation of the Big Stupid.
We're gonna talk about that. I've got PowerPoint, yeah.
So, but first, I do want to rep the raffle prizes we're going to do. So every hour, if you're new to the stream, every hour, any donation over $20 gets you automatically entered into a raffle for a game history book. So for the first hour, any donation over $20 gets you put into a raffle for this beautiful copy of Intellivision, How a Video Game System Battled Atari and Almost Bankrupted Barbie by Tom Bolstra from Braxton Soderman. It's an incredible book. This is from MIT Press, and then also from the press. These are all courtesy them. For the second hour, we'll be raffling off Building Sim City, How to Put the World in a Machine by the illustrious Han Gingold. So Yep, that is a powerful stack of game history, I have to say. So, $20+ donations entered into that raffle. For full raffle rules, please see the links on our schedule. That is it for my contractually obligated legalese. So, Phil,
Well, we talked about what's the big stupid.
What's the big stupid?
This is the Wonder Tools Cruiser. This is a game controller. I posted pictures of this. People called it a lot of things. I heard Baby's First Steel Battalion. People saying I want to play iRacing. A lot of people want to play like Elite Dangerous and Wing Commander with this thing. We have to talk about what the hell this thing is, though. We are going to play with it, but this is going to take a little explanation. I want to explain not just what this is, but where it came from, why it's on this stream, and how I had to move heaven and earth to make this thing run. This was a fucking nightmare. So I'm going to quickly move over. I'm going to have chat up just so I can read responses as they go. But
sure thing.
We've got a PowerPoint. I'm not sure if that's going to be up on stream right now, but we've got a PowerPoint about what the Wonder Tools Cruiser is. Please let me know if folks can see this in chat. I don't know how this is being shown. I think it's going through OBS, so it should be. Okay, great. Great. All right. So the Wonder Tools Cruiser, what the heck is this thing? So we've got a backstory to explain what this is. So a little bit of background. As you might know, the Video Game History Foundation, we launched our digital library last month. This has been an incredibly, a huge undertaking on our part. It's taken us, months to get to this point. Not months, years. What am I saying? We started this project. I started about 3 years ago. It's been undergoing all this time since then. We're super happy that we're super proud of it. And as part of our digital library, we have been figuring out how to non-destructively scan materials we have in our collection. We've invested in a lot of infrastructure to do things like extract staples from magazines and safely scan them and then reassemble them and make them scannable while preserving the original object. So once we figure this out, obviously people know us as video game magazines. I also wanted to find other materials we could have in the collection once we started up. So I started poking around, and one thing I found we had in the back section of our library was catalogs. Video game catalogs are actually a really interesting resource for understanding how people were talking about video games, how electronics were being sold, how they fit into the broader consumer marketplace. I love this one right here, this example of this EB Games catalog from 1997, where the cover story art, their not cover story, but their cover products are Netscape Navigator, an interactive Barney toy, and Final Fantasy VII. If you want an illustration of the state of consumer electronics in 1997, you cannot do better than that. I'm someone who's very interested in the PC multimedia era, so I tried to seek out all sorts of things from that, trying to acquire weirder, older publications that maybe hadn't been scanned before. And one of those things that was super interesting that I saw on eBay was this catalog here called the Edutainment Catalog. The Edutainment Catalog was... I don't know how many issues it ran for, but it was specializing in just educational software, family-friendly software, everything from reference material to, you can see on this cover, Barbie fashion designer, even Monopoly. They counted those as being kind of family-friendly products. This was listed on eBay. I thought this would be an amazing thing to get for the collection, but they were asking for a little bit more than we were comfortable paying for it. We have a budget. We have to keep within that. We weren't willing to pay it. But I reached out to some friends, and sure enough, one scholar, Lane Nooney, was willing to foot the bill on this. This actually ended up fitting Lane's research mission. So Lane was able to foot the bill for this thing. It is still in Lane's possession, but Lane sent it to us. Oh yeah, technically NYU fit the bill. Excuse me, they footed the bill on this. But Lane was the one who put the order in, etc., etc. Point being, Lane owns the copy. They mailed it to us. We scanned it and mailed it back. So we were able to make it accessible. So we were flipping through this thing. There's a lot of good material in it. If someone can go to the the Video Game History Foundation archive, almost said Internet Archive, please find this and link to it. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. But as we were flipping through it, one thing really stood out more than anything else, and it's this thing in the upper left, the Wonder Tools. I'm just going to read their ad copy out loud. Designed for the way kids play and learn, and learn. I looked away and lost where I was in the sentence. They'll laugh, rule the world, play music with a squid, learn a lot, that's very vague, steer clear of asteroids, be challenged, drive without a license, master the computer, be light years ahead, and they'll do it all because Fisher-Price and Compaq put their heads together. Kids' minds don't work like ours. Their thinking has no boundaries. So instead of limiting them with the tools grown-ups use, Fisher-Price and Compaq have teamed up to create Wonder Tools, a line of computer peripherals and software. All right, what the heck is Wonder Tools? So as you just saw from that, this was a co-venture of Compaq and Fisher-Price. Compaq, the computer manufacturer, now defunct. Fisher-Price, the now still beloved children's toy company. They made software peripherals, in this case, for children ages 3 to 6. It was this comprehensive software hardware suite where it was special controllers for young kids and games for young kids put together. Now, what I think is really interesting is that they did not do this just out of the goodness of their heart. This was not a fun thing for children. This was very explicitly business development. This issue here from Business Week, they talked with folks at Compaq about it, and it is framed as trying to expand their market. They were in second place in the PC market behind Packard Bell, pretty close. And part of the mission here was to expand their audience. Was, let's like, okay, who else can we sell computers to, right? We already sold to all the tech enthusiasts. Where else can we go with this? Let's look at children's software. Let's go to the family. Let's start, there are more computers in homes. Let's start selling children to software. Paola earlier, I believe, had an article once joking about how people wanted to, it was like, what if we sell games to people who are asleep? Like trying to find new audiences for growth. It was very much a growth hack. Let's sell computer software for babies. Basically, I think about it in terms of a parallel. It's almost like if you think about other software like or hardware, like My First Sony, which was electronics for children, or the Sega Pico, which was a game console for kids. It kind of fits in a parallel with that. We have a video in our collection that was it was a Sunsoft video where they talked about how like video games are good because they teach children how to use computers, which will be necessary for the modern workplace. So it's absolutely part of that. It's like, oh, hey, parents, have your kids learn how to use a computer because we can't sell any more new hardware to the weird tech heads who spent the last decade upgrading their computers ad nauseum. So Wonder Tools was a suite of different hardware and software to make computers accessible to young children. One of them was the Wonder Tools keyboard, which as you can see is a simplified keyboard. It's just got kind of big buttons, big numbers, and it's got a little secret tray you can pull out, and it's got all the function buttons and the grown-up buttons that kids aren't supposed to use. But this was explicitly marketed to kids to parents as a way to onboard young children to computing. It's like, you will use this and you can teach them how to use computers. Like, this wasn't just like, here's fun things for kids. It was like, no, teach your kid how to type, loser. Like, that was absolutely the approach to it. Wow, we hit 7K. Holy moly, thank y'all. I just saw that in chat. But they did make games for this. They weren't necessarily games that worked just on their own, but they made games like Cyber Grannies. This is a real game, and boy, do I have a copy of Cyber Grannies. Probably not going to play that one, actually, because it wasn't made for the Wonder Tools Cruiser. It's just a generic, it was just, a program to play in the computer with typing and all that. But the real centerpiece of the effort that was done by Wonder Tools was the Cruiser. The Cruiser is interesting. I fast forward a little too quick there. We'll get to that. We'll get to the GIF. The Cruiser, as you can see here, it was more explicitly decoupling the activity of playing a game from the act of computing. It's a toy. It looks like, and here's where this comes in, a gamer busy box. It was a thing that we'll look at it more in depth when we start playing, but it's got a wheel, it's got a cash register, it's got a phone, it's got all these crazy buttons all over it. And the idea was, this is not meant to be something where it's like, teach your kid how to compute. This is meant to be an electronic toy that kids play with. Compaq, of course, was interested in expanding their market and getting kids playing computer games more. But for Fisher-Price, I think this was actually a pretty smart approach to expanding what it meant to make a toy. That it wasn't just like, oh, here's a standalone thing. You could just buy a busy box, whatever. This was a new type of plaything for young children that then interacted with the computer, kind of like that Barney toy from Microsoft we were talking about earlier. So when I think about what the Wonder Tools is, obviously it's a very silly piece of hardware. But I think it represents something more than that. I think it represents a sort of existential crisis happening within the computing and home electronics industries. They had hyper-saturated the market already for enthusiasts, for people who wanted to buy a CD-ROM drive for Myst. There's kind of a ceiling on that, in the same way that there's kind of a ceiling you're seeing right now on the console game audience, in the US especially, that now companies are starting to look for all these different other growth areas, right? This was, I think, one of the first early instances of that sort of multi-industry growth strategy synergy that you're still seeing today. It was computer companies trying to bring toy companies into the world of games and also sort of coast on the additional market that toy companies had. I think if you look now, I'm not sure if folks saw that the ESA recently announced a new, and you're allowed to boo for the ESA in chat. The ESA just announced a new conference called iIcon, which is like a leadership summit for video games, where it's not like a game presentation conference, but it's like game executives can meet people from the healthcare and sports industries. It's a similar kind of thing. It's always just about finding new audiences to expand games into, or something that they can like move. Like, who else can we sell games to? Let's find other audiences. The Cruiser is definitely, man, we already sold all the Windows 95 computers we can. Who else wants to buy computers? What about babies? That was their approach to this thing. So I found this fascinating, and Lane found this fascinating too. And unfortunately, I made a decision I regret. This is from Blue Sky. Lane posted this picture. New dimension in haptics, the Wonder Tools Cruisers. Anyone seen one of these in real life? And I said, if you can find this, I will use this to play Myst for the ROMchip stream. And whoops, that video did not go. There we go. A month later, this showed up at the office, and I have it right here. The Wonder Tools Cruiser with an amazing cover. This kid screaming as magic shoots out of the monitor. I had to fulfill my promise. I promised Lane, I promised the ROMchip community I would do this. And unfortunately, that meant figuring out how to make this thing work. And folks, this is where things go off the rails. We're going to talk about trying to use the Wonder Tools Cruiser in 2025, aka the Folly of Man. So we need to talk about how you connect this thing to a computer, because I think if people have game peripherals today, they might be used to connecting things to computers with USB. That was not going to work in the Windows 95 era. Back in 1996, USB effectively didn't exist, or it was not widely adopted, so USB was out of the question. Most of the time, peripherals then used a couple different inputs. They used parallel ports. They might have used SCSI ports. These were the kind of inputs you would see for external peripherals. I'm actually using a serial port mouse right now, which we'll talk about in a second. But interestingly, that's not what the Wonder Tools, I keep saying the Wonder Tools, the Wonder Tools Cruiser uses. Oh, wow. Secret backstory. Kira, a ROMchip author, DM'd Lane to say they found the Cruiser on eBay. Amazing. So this is not actually what they used. They used a very specific different type of input to make this work. The Wonder Tools Cruiser uses the IBM Personal System 2 input, which you might be familiar with in older computers. This was a standard that was used specifically for mice and keyboards. It debuted when IBM was first making some of their IBM-compatible computers, and it's widely adopted on Windows computers and was up through the USB era. I think some computers may still have some backwards compatibility with it, but it uses PS2 input. Now, the way it works, I can't show you the hookup here, but the way it works is it is meant to piggyback off the connection from a keyboard. So what happens is you got your computer, you've got a mouse you hook up to it, and then the Wonder Tools, you hook into this Y connector with the keyboard. So the keyboard Wonder Tools go into the same little connector that then goes into the keyboard port on your Windows 95 computer. So when the Wonder Tools came to the office, first thing I did was I inspected it and said, oh, it's a PS2 input. This is going to be pretty easy, right? Because it's piggybacking off the keyboard. It's probably just mapping these buttons to keyboard inputs, right? I actually started turning some of it, and you can hear when you move things on this, every single input here is just a digital input. It's just a button is being hit, a thing is being turned. There's no like analog movement. It's just up, down, left, right. So it was like, okay, interesting. So this should just map to keyboard inputs. So we can take that, and then we can like map that to other games, right? And I think I promised in the schedule, it was like, oh, we can play Doom with this thing. We can like map these buttons to play Doom. So that's going to be pretty easy, right? Absolutely not. Welcome to hell. This is where things go really off the rails. Before we get started, I just want to mention, first off, this is going to get really technical, but I hope you enjoy it. I hope this gives some context for what the hell this thing is. And secondly, I want to give huge thanks to Foon Turing and Moral Recordings. I know Foon's in chat. I'm not sure if Moral is right now. They helped me understand what the hell we're going to be talking about in these next couple slides. This was a nightmare to figure out. This is very complicated, but they knew what the hell to do about it. If you want to get something done right, hire a trans person. They know what the fuck they're doing. Thank you, Thune. Thank you, Moral Recordings, for helping me navigate this. So here's the deal. Why did the Wonder Tools Cruiser not work? First issue is power. So we had this in the adapter I just got off Amazon. It's a Dynex PS2 adapter. You can tell from the very beige color, or that's just like, it was made in the Windows 95 era. Interestingly, PS2 inputs use what's described as passive. PS2 adapters tend to be passive, which means they just have, you can connect a keyboard and a mouse and they work. Unfortunately, the Cruiser draws a ton of power. This thing has a lot of other functions. There's lights in it and stuff. That was not enough to make it work. So unfortunately, you have to get a separate active adapter. So this one was not going to work. I rush ordered, basically overnighted a higher power adapter. This one I used previously was just it used USB 1, so it was never going to get enough power. The new one, it was an active adapter. It was USB 2. Lots of tech enthusiasts recommend it. I hooked it up and powered it on, and it still didn't work. So why doesn't it work? We got it plugged in. The keyboard that was plugged in worked. Why was the Wonder Tools not working? So we got to talk a little bit about how the PS2 keyboard input standard works. So when you have a PS2 keyboard hooked up, what it does is when you hit a key, it transmits something that's called a scan code to the computer. Now, a scan code is a value from 1 to 255 expressed as a 2-digit hexadecimal value, and that corresponds to what's called a virtual key. Windows sees the scan code. It's able to say, okay, this turns into a virtual key, and then that translates into software input. So for instance, if I hit the A key on a keyboard, that becomes scan code 1E. That translates to virtual key A, and then that tells Windows, all right, you can hit A. There's actually, if you want to, there are programs you can get. I think I used one called Key Scan Code, I think it's called, that if you type in on your keyboard, it will tell you what the scan codes are, what the virtual keys are. So the thought was, okay, we need to troubleshoot this. Let's use this thing. Let's try scanning some key codes. I tried, and no input was coming through. It was like, oh, why is it not detecting the scan codes? That's weird. Shouldn't it be? That's the same standard, right? So it gets more complicated than that. There's also what's known as extended scan codes. Extended scan codes are, instead of just being a 2-digit hexadecimal value, is a 4-digit hexadecimal value that can contain multiple, have additional instructions. So for instance, that's for any kind of unusual key that falls outside of the usual, what am I saying? The usual 255 characters that are programmed. So in this case, something like if you ever had a keyboard back in the day that has an email button, it was probably an extended scan code. Windows keys are a good example. They're prefaced with this E0 prefix before 5C, and that tells it, hey, this maps to the virtual key. That's the right Windows key. So clearly this was the issue. It's using some kind of extended scan code scheme, right? And that's what's causing this to not read correctly. So I found some very sketchy program that does also read extended scan codes. I plugged the Cruiser in, and it still didn't work. Things get real out of control from here. This is where it's really bad. It turns out the Cruiser is not using PS2 scan codes. It is using the PS2 input to transmit a custom signal to the computer, which is real bad news. It is not using any sort of normal scan code that computers understand. What Foon actually thinks is that Y connector I mentioned earlier, that is actually, potentially has a chip inside that's telling it when to read the valid keyboard input and then when to switch over when input is coming from the Wonder Tools and then read that and encode it differently. It's almost like how dial-up internet, it's using audio to transmit data. It's that kind of, it's completely misusing that standard. Now, the other problem is there is a driver that says, okay, let's access the low-level data coming out of the PS2 port, but unfortunately that is designed in a way that only works with 16-bit Windows. It only works in Windows 3.1 and 95. It was deprecated after Windows 98. So this only works on 16-bit Windows. So it was okay. So this is not going to work on Windows 10. It's not going to work on Windows 11. What else can we do here? So I talked with Food, and the first thought was, all right, let's write a driver for this thing. So we opened up the hex editor, we looked inside the Windows 3.1 driver and realized, nope, we can't do that because the PS2 input standard is deprecated at a software and hardware level. Post Windows 98, it's not just that there's no drivers for reading that low-level data, it's that it cannot read that data. Modern versions of Windows do not understand a low-level PS2 input. That is not something they have access to. In addition, those PS2 adapters we talked about earlier, they don't even work with non-standard input. They know to look for mouse input and keyboard scan codes. They don't know how to do anything with PS2 data. So the unfortunate end product of this is the Wonder Tools Cruiser cannot be used on anything except a Windows 3.1, 95, or 98 computer with a powered PCI PS2 input. Or to put it another way, the Wonder Tools Cruiser only works because of a terrible hardware hack that does not work on any computer from this century. Or to put it another way, the Wonder Tools Cruiser is an affront to God. So, how are we going to do it during the stream? Well, Foon is in the Bay Area. Foon brought us an actual Windows 95 computer. We have it hooked up. If this whole place has smelled like hot electronics for a little bit, if this thing does not crash in the next hour and a half, I'm going to be thrilled. But we're going to do these the old-fashioned way. I have the actual CDs. I managed to purchase a lot of every Wonder Tools Cruiser game on eBay. None of them are dumped yet. That's one of the goals, is hopefully we'll dump them after the stream and get them up available for somebody. So first off, the bad news. The bad news is that we're not going to be playing any non-standard games with the Cruiser today. It just was not technically feasible in time for the stream. Given the time constraints and given the complexity, we just have to play only the stock Wonder Tools games. But they're pretty wacky. But right now, there just isn't a way to make this read in anything else. The good news is that Foon is working on it. Foon had the idea that if Windows computers can't read the PS2 input signal, maybe an external device can. So they're going to look into the idea. We're going to lend them this thing after this is done. And we're looking at the idea of, yes, Greg Olswong, exactly. An Arduino thing that takes PS2 input, translates it into something that can be read over USB, connect that to a modern Windows computer, and then we can do things like play Doom. I see somebody mention AGDQ when. I want to do that. I want to learn to speedrun Doom episode 1 with this baby. It would be amazing. So this is not the end of this. The Wonder Tools Cruiser will return in the future. And the great news, this is, as far as I can tell, the first time anyone has ever streamed the Wonder Tools Cruiser in any format. I am absolutely thrilled about this. There is almost no video of this thing. The only clip I could find anywhere was a 2-minute segment on Computer Chronicles from an episode they had about Winter CES 1996. Outside of that, nobody has ever seen this thing in action before. So, yeah, hopefully get the thing working for the next fundraiser. Maybe we'll do some other special event. Yeah, Platinum Tulip, you may have seen this, but now you're going to see more than a half minute of somebody half-heartedly turning a wheel. We're going to have some fun with creative learning, folks. I'm going to quickly switch over to Windows 95 view, and this might take a second as I get things set up here, but I am absolutely thrilled. You should be seeing a Windows 95 computer right now, and I'm going to switch things over. Give me just a second here. I'm going to switch over to the Wonder Tools cam. There we go. See the big box right there. All right, and if I can just really quick, give me a second here. I just got to get the Windows 95 monitor up on my end. There we go. All right, so we can see here. Folks can see this, right? This should all be working now. I'm getting to chat up my laptop. All right, so the two games we'll probably not play unless we really, really want to are Cyber Grannies and Wacky Jacks. Those are generic Wonder Tools games, not specifically for the Cruiser. However, we are going to play Frogmella's Rollicking Log Ride, Marcy's Mystery Messages, Moonbeam's Perfect Pictures, Oops's New Toy, and we're going to start with the pack-in game for the Cruiser, Spruce Squirrel's Hiccup Mix-Up. Oh, God, what the hell? Okay, did I not put the disc back in? No, it's in there. Okay, by the way, if you haven't seen one of these, this is an old enough computer. We are having to use this with disc caddies. So let's see if we can get this to work. How much we're donating for each crash? Good question. What I will do, I can't see the donations right now. Please let me know when donations come through, and I will honk the horn whenever we get a donation. That's going to be the incentive. Anytime anyone donates anything, you get a honk. That may be a little loud. Please let me know if that's too loud. Still adjusting audio levels here.
Play.
Oh, it's also, I'm getting a little duplication on my end. Let me just fix that really quickly.
Play.
Oh, is that...
Play. Play. Play.
That's weird.
Play.
I think that's actually just the program doing that. I don't think that's my audio. I think it's... Yeah, it's... Okay, it's clipping. So the audio is clipping. Unfortunately, hilariously, the sound card in this computer does not have manual volume adjustment, so I just had to, like, lower everything as much as possible. So the audio could just be very...
Story. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready?
All right, give me a second. So I think I can fix this in a really ridiculous way. Give me a sec here. Okay, so that might fix it. So literally, what was happening was there we go. To get the audio out. All right, give me just a second here to get this fixed. So the solution, I had to like do audio jack out and turn it into stereo.
Use the joystick on the joystick button.
Oh God, this sounds horrible. What's going on? Maybe I should put it back the way it was. It seems to have music. I'm still getting it being echoey, but let's see. So I can turn this. Oh, it's...
Free play.
I haven't done story mode. Let's do that. All right, let's see how the audio is. Please let me know as we go.
Welcome to Wonder Island. I'm Winston Woofer, and it's my job to take care of all the adventures. Glad you could come along. My friend Spruce the Squirrel has had a bit of a mix-up. He could sure use your help.
Audio is workable. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have audio working until like minutes before the stream, so...
And this is my Inventotron for making my invention. Thank goodness you arrived. I need your help. I drank my...
Please honk. Oh, no, I just... There we go. Okay, I have to wait until we're in the actual game to honk.
At your service. You are a rugged driver and explorer. Hey, why don't you go exploring with the vehicles again? But this time, try and find the ingredients to cure Spruce.
Okay, while this is going, I'm going to try to experiment the audio one more time to see if I can get a little bit better. Give me a second here as I finagle the... If you can see the giant mess of wires back here, it's a disaster. What if I switch? Oh, I see what's happening. All right, so give me... You can hear me...
Press the round pink button.
Let me try something. Is that better? No, that's nothing. That might be as good as it gets, unfortunately. All right. So he said, press the green button. Oh, buttons are flashing. Oh, okay. All right, I think that's as good as... Yeah, the audio is fluctuating. I think that's as good as it's going to get, unfortunately. We had to really hack this thing to get audio working, unfortunately. All right, hit the red button and the car is opening up. There we go. We're in the cruiser now, folks. All right, I owed you a honk, so... Did it crash? Well, that's not good. I think it might have frozen. Oh my God, this is already off to a horrendous start. Okay, so this input works. I can scroll through the friends I can call. But... Oh, that's right. I have to turn the... That's right. To get this thing started, I forgot. To start the cruiser, you got to turn the key. There we go. Can we honk? No. Okay. So, how this works. You'll notice this lever over here has different settings. Can turn it forward. Can stop. Can move it backwards. can go super fast. I can't hear the honks for some reason. I'm trying. But what else can we do? So we have this knob up here. If we turn this, you can see we got different options. This one right here, I have the map. Let's press that. And there we have a map that we're going on. So we got to go see Spruce Squirrel. We got to take a left to go see him. So we'll keep that in mind. We can also, we should see who we can call. Let's call Spruce Squirrel. So to do this, we have to pick the phone. Huh, the audio's not working. We should be hearing a dial tone. All right, I think I have to quit and restart because you should be hearing some audio. You should be hearing Spruce Squirrel talk. Let me try restarting this. Exit. I'm just going to quickly test audio and make sure it's actually working. We don't have to restart because the Flintstones phone aspect of this is very, very important. See, I thought I was going to use the 2 hours to play all sorts of different games, but it's just going to be tech support trying to get this thing to work. So let's make sure. That's so weird. It was not doing that earlier. All right, give me a second to look into this. We're figuring this out live on stream, folks. We're doing it. We're doing it live. All right, so that should be going to... I'm just looking at the inputs. All right, so that audio is going to cable input, and we should be turning off. Let's do monitor only. Let's try this. If that didn't work, you should be hearing it, but I can't hear it. And I assume it still sounds kind of messed up on your end as well, right? But yeah, the cursor, you do not hear it. Oh, that's interesting. That's even weirder. Okay, because I am seeing it come through OBS. But, oh, I see. I know what it is. Okay, let's do monitor only. There we go. Okay, so then you should hear... God, that's so weird that it's having that echo effect. And the horrible clipping. Unfortunately, you can't even, with the sound card we have, you can't even adjust the audio. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. We got a little time. You're not here for a well-polished time. You're here for the Wonder Tools Cruiser. This was never going to work smoothly. That's right. It's under multimedia instead. OBS might be gating it somehow. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good point. That could be on OBS's end, I wonder. Let's figure this out. Oh, man, it's going to be one of these streams. If you've ever seen my personal live streams, you know that this is just what happens. It was so weird. I was having freaking, what was it? Canyon.midi was running totally fine earlier when we were doing a tech check with Brain shutting down with Conway. All right, that's... Is that better? I think that's it. I think we fixed... Well, no, I think it's still... Okay, that's even... Okay, I think I know what's happening on my end. I think it's consistent. Okay, I think I can fix this, folks. I think I know how to do this. We got this. All right, so I'm capturing this audio and blah, 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 blah. And okay, it's something with the virtual audio cables we have going on. That we again, so this is, you're seeing the juicy meat of this. You're seeing how all this nightmare gets put together. Okay, so audio output is going to be blah 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 blah. Try it one more time. I'm just gonna let this play while we figure this out, folks. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm getting an echo a little bit later. I'm just going to listen to this one more time. So we stop, and the loud echo continues on my end. Are you hearing the echo too, or is it just me? I want to make sure we figure this out. No echo. Okay, so the echo is just on my end. Great. Fantastic. All right, I'm just going to live with it then. Yeah, clipping we can't really do anything about. On my end, I just hear a little bit of audio echo and lag, but that's just going to be what it is. Cannot find spruce.exe. Oh my god, Windows 95. All right, is this going to crash again? Are you going to open? Searching for Spruce. You just opened Spruce. What are you talking about? All right, let's take the disc out and put it back in. Oh my god, okay. Okay, folks, thanks for joining the the stream of the Wonder Tools. Again, so in addition to the thing Foon's working on about trying to figure out how to make it work on a modern computer, Foon has also figured out potentially how to make this work on, well, how to make the games run on a modern device. I'm not going to say work, but how to make them run on a modern device. It turns out there is a very simple ini flag that you can enable that will allow you to run the games without having the peripheral hooked up. I don't think they you know, it doesn't get any input. I don't think there's like an easy way to map it, but they're working on figuring that out. So once we have these out in the world, hopefully you should be able to give us a shot on your own. All right, let's try it again. We got this. This is the run, folks. We're actually gonna have it work.
Wonder Island. I'm Winston Woofer, and it's my job to take care of all the adventures. Glad you could come along. My friend Spruce the Squirrel has had a bit of a mix-up. He could sure use your help.
All right, what's his mix-up? Tell us what's going on, Spruce.
Hi, I'm Spruce, and this is my Inventatron for making my inventions. Thank goodness you arrived. I need your help. I drank my spruce juice so fast.
Oh, he's got hiccups.
I'm bouncing around the room with mixed-up hiccups. I'm bouncing so much. I can't pull the levers on my machine. I must get working. There is a special motion potion that can cure me. Find 3 ingredients. A lily pad shake from Frogmella on the island. A fresh bunch of sea notes from Cecilia under the sea.
Okay.
And some marshmallows from Colonel Swarb up in space.
All right, so we
Find
got
all 3 and please bring
red
them to me
is
on the
land,
island.
blue is space, yellow is sea. Perry Platts, eventually that's the hope. That's something Foon is working on, but we were not able to do in time for the stream. But theoretically, yes, it could be possible to play other games with this thing.
Why don't you go exploring with the vehicles again? But this time, try and find the ingredients to cure Spruce.
Okay, folks, do we want to do land, sea, or space? Do we have a preference? I'm watching chat in this one. I need your input on this. If you can see here, these buttons are flashing. They're letting us know. So actually, these buttons correspond to what's happening here. Ooh, okay, a lot of people saying space, so we'll go with space. But before I do, so notice here with these little buttons, the colors match what's on screen. So hitting green, we'll talk to Spruce. Hitting red, we go in the car. Hitting blue.
The round blue button.
The round blue button. There we go. We're going to space. We're doing it. All right, here we are. Let's turn this key. Get this thing started. Oh, it's powering up. Oh, look at all our friends down here. Okay, so we're powered up, which means we gotta go up into space. Let's get some donation honks that I owed you. Oh, did it break the sound driver again? Did attempting to honk break it again? I think the space horn broke the audio again. Oh no! Let's see, if I pick up the phone, we should... Yeah, we should hear a set. Okay, no more. I think I gotta stop the honks. The honks are crashing this. Oh my goodness. This is a nightmare. Yeah, honk if you love Vor. That's not gonna make any sense when people view this part of the stream out of context. If you're here, you know what's going on. Yeah, Lightning, you just... Yeah, right, for folks who just joined, you don't know what... That was a joke to a previous thing that happened. Not gonna make sense out of context, but if you know, you know. Yeah, we're still getting MIDI, but we're not getting wave is what's interesting. Okay, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna cure that squirrel's hiccups. If it's the last thing I do, if God is my witness... We're not going to beat a single one of these games, but I can at least show you how it works. I want to pick up the phone and call some people.
Play.
All right, play.
Play.
Play. All right. Story mode. So actually, as we're talking about this, I can talk about the lore a little bit of Wonder Tools also. So every one of these characters we talk about has their own game. So Squirrel Squirrel's Hiccup Mix-Up was the launch game for this thing, was the pack-in. But in addition to that, this kind of gives you a sampling of all the areas. We have Oops's new toy, which takes place underwater. I saw Maiden Ladies in chat. There are some sharks in this one, but they are very friendly sharks. We got Frogmella's Rollicking Log Ride. I don't know what's going on with Frogmella. We've got Marcy's Mystery Messages, which is also underwater. And then we've got Moonbeam's Perfect Pictures, which takes place in outer space. Oh, the camera's mirrored. Oh, okay.
Then I'm bouncing around the room with mixed up hiccups. I'm bouncing so much.
We know, dude. We know. Let's keep going. Unfortunately, I don't want to... There we go. I didn't want to hit the horn to jump through it.
Winston Woofer, at your service.
All right, let's go into space. Let's try this again. Let's get at least one phone call off. Let's make sure the audio on this thing works the way we hope it does. All right, so we turn this thing to get going. Thank you. Camera's no longer mirrored. Here's correctly formatted. Oops. Ooh, listen to. So let's go. Oh, nope, can't go backwards. We got to go up. There we go. All right, so let's call someone while we're going up into space. Oh, there we go. Who are we gonna call? Let's call the crocodile.
I'm Caractacus the crocodile.
Hi, Caractacus.
My tail is really long. My slimy plans will make you smile, mainly if they go wrong.
I don't trust him. I feel like Caractacus is gonna try to get us to like buy Bitcoin or something. He's gonna do a Caractacus coin rug pull. So we're going forward, we're going up into space. Here we go. All right, so while we're moving, we can turn. We can move a little bit while we're here, and we're gonna have to do it right now. So right now we're coming to a junction. We're gonna have to get, if we bring up the map, we're gonna have to go left or right here. So which way do we want to go? The illusion of choice. Both ways are gonna bring us to that little space alien guy. So let's go left. Let's get out of the mirror view, map view. So to answer questions, every input on this is is digital only input. All right, so let's go a little faster. There we go. Go into super fast speed mode. And we'll turn left here. We'll get a prompt in a second when it tells us it's time to, there we go. Turn left. Whoosh. Oh, we're going to go through a planet. Oh, wow. All right, into the planet we go. We can steer through here a little bit. But yeah, all these inputs are analog. I believe you can see it's kind of segmented at like each step of the wheel. We gotta get through the tunnel. Whoa. Concert asks, will it let you crash? I will answer that question in a second when I explain how the software works on this thing. This is actually kind of cool. Oh, we got a call. Who's it from?
Hi there. Welcome to Smart. I'm Brielle, and wow, I love
Brielle.
your spaceship. To get some tasty marshmallows to help Spruce, go to Colonel's Wharf. He has loads of them in his scrapyard.
So yeah, to answer the question, what's happening is we are on a fixed course right now. This is actually a very long, horizontally long video file that we're scrolling with. The only time it matters is if you don't turn at an intersection, you will crash. And so we'll have to back it up a little bit. So let's see. So I'm actually gonna go right just to show you a little bit more of the movement mechanics in this. So what it's doing here is everything that you're seeing here is a pre-rendered video file that the child has a limited degree of control over. Based on how much they're turning the steering wheel left or right, it will show you more of what's happening on the left or right. Now, you can't actually hit a wall. You are on a predetermined course. Your input really doesn't matter until you hit an intersection. But I think that's why I really like the comparison between this and like, oh, look out! Whoa! Between this and toys. is that, I think about like an actual busy box, like the one Millhouse was playing with. And that's a case where it's like, okay, you're not getting any, stimuli back. It's just kind of making sounds, or Fred Flintstone is saying, yabba dabba doo, I like talking to you. But in this case, you are getting some kind of digital feedback from the computer. So you're steering, and it doesn't feel like it's anything. It doesn't actually do anything, but it feels like you're steering. Like I could go, whoa, we got to turn right. Oh no, and it feels right. It feels like, yeah, that's the right thing you're supposed to be doing there. So I think it's a really cool way of, even though there's minimal interactivity in this, of giving kids, making it feel like there's actually, we're going to roll it back. And you can see it's just playing this video backwards. This is basically just a big video player, and there are actually a few games that handle it the same way. Foon said this could have been a Laserdisc game, and exactly, when you think about something like Dragon's Lair, and actually kind of funny, you can notice it's really hitchy going backwards. It's like, oh yeah, because it's trying to rewind an AVI movie, and like that's not, it's skipping. It's just going like frames back at a time, as opposed to the smooth forward motion of here, because you can't rewind an AVI. That's not a notion that this had. But yeah, exactly. This is just basically a huge fancy video player that's telling it. There we go. Let's go left into this little mini game. It's a big video player that's just saying, okay, when this input happens at this place, play this portion of the video. There was another game, the Journeyman Project, a Myst-style game that was developed around the same time that uses a similar technique where all the in-game screens are actually just a big AVI file that contains every single frame that you could possibly go in the game. So this is the meat, I guess, of Wonder Tools Cruiser, is throughout these worlds, there's these little stops that you can jump into. And hopefully it's just taking a while to load and it's not crashing. But at each of these locations, there's a little mini game you can play. Again, assuming it doesn't crash. We'll see what happens. But you play a little mini game, and Foon figured out these are actually just separate executable files that it's running every time you bop into one of these. And they're not super exciting. It's usually little puzzles you do with the joystick or using some of these other tools on here. Now, these were working earlier in one of the ones we played. Maybe we're having some issues of spruce. I'm actually going to jump over, in that case, to Oops's new toy, because that was one. Oh yeah, we're full crashed now. This is not good. This exit button should just automatically quit the game no matter what's happening. It's not doing anything. So we did test Oops's new toy, and that one works for sure. So I'm going to pull out the little secret keyboard here and see if I can't Alt F4, or no, the computer's hard crashed. Okay, so this is a real crash. We're going to have to power it off for a second. While this is going, Lane, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to GDQ to be like, can we read some donations? But I am not able to pay attention to what's going on with donations. So I am curious how those are going and where we are. While this thing reboots, would love an update.
And I'll just read. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, hey folks.
Oh God, what just happened?
No, sorry,
Ooh.
that's my fault. I gotta. Okay, all right. I had my Twitch on. I gotta. Oh Jesus. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so yes, while both Phil and I try to figure out how technology works, there's some things that never go out of style. Phil, we're doing good. So with the help of, last set, QDOT did an incredible matching for us. So, we raised from donors $600, and Non-Polynomial matched that. And so that pushed us over our tier 1 $7,000 bare minimum, keep the lights on, so we can have another year of ROMchip. That's what that was.
Fantastic. That's great news.
We have another year of ROMchip. I guess I didn't really come on. I hadn't yet come on and said that, but that's what that means. That means we can pay our copy editor. That means we can pay our hosting fees and all of that. So another year of ROMchip. And then, so every dollar we raise after this, basically is most of that is going to go into a fund that we're going to use to pay freelance journalists and translators to make work for us, right? So everything over the top. Also, part of that money will help fund our back-end folks who will do more talks. So if you've ever dropped in on our YouTube kind of ROMchip Presents research talks, we pay our tech director and talent coordinator who help handle that. So that's also part of what we fundraise toward. But yeah, so we have received some great donations in the past. I'm just checking some timestamps. Yeah. Also, oh God, that's so loud, Phil. Can anyone else hear that besides me?
Sorry.
It's not your fault. So we have received some incredible donations from Jeff Peterson, from David Grida, from Ethan Johnson, from Kira, who I think is the Kira who made this happen, who found. So, but Phil, I think both you and I put a eBay alert on for the Wonder Tools Cruiser, and we never got pinged. And so I don't know what was wrong with our alerts, but Kira found this thing on eBay. I don't think it was that expensive. I think it was like $30.
Oh, incredible. The software was more than that, yeah.
It was sold by just someone running like a thrift store in the Midwest, or like a Salvation Army type thing. We've gotten donations from Laura Labs, Robot Spacer, Quarter Past, good old Kendra Albert, and one of my personal faves, Tony Pizza.
Tony Pizza, thank you for donating, Tony Pizza.
Are we back?
Yes. Can folks hear the audio? I saw someone say they can't hear, but you should be hearing the dog talking now. Do you hear the funny dog? Is the funny dog in your ears? Audio is on. Great. All right. So we're going back. We're hitting the yellow button. Tech people, thanks for accommodating me, asking for a donation update. But we did hit the first hour, so now that we actually had this running, figured I'd check in about that. All right, so here we go. This one was reliably working, and I also noticed. So I think there might be an issue with however that Spruce CD was reading, because also remember the issue where we couldn't run it unless we put the CD back in, it was having trouble accessing data or something. So hopefully this is more reliable. Dare I tempt fate and honk the horn? I don't know. But we're going under the sea. Let's try it. There we go. That's a horrible sound. All right, let's check the map. Where are we going? Oh, so you see, these individual discs have more expanded areas. So let's go see the squid. We have to turn right and go through the pirate ship to see the squid. Now, I want to show you some of these other buttons as well. After we turn right here and blast through this intersection. So also, there's a camera button which we can use to take a picture of what we're seeing. We have a help button that at any time will bring up our funny dog friend.
To make a call, pick up the phone.
Let's call that Dolphin. Let's do it. Oh yeah, this is working much more reliably. I think maybe there was an issue with Spruce's game specifically.
Dave the Wave here at your service. Great to see you just cruising around in your bubble sub.
Yeah, cool to see you too. You say anything else? Good question. How many separate inputs? Let's count those in just a second. Let's count,
I'm
kids.
in a great swimming mood today. I think I'll check out some new caves.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, so we got all the degrees of this wheel. I think each unit of it being turned is a separate input. The key is an input. These 4 buttons are an input. The joystick is an input. The button is this. Oh, gotta turn left. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This coin slot, which hopefully we'll see today, is an input. These 4 buttons are. These 10 things here. The phone's an input. The throttle's an input. These 3 buttons are. And so is this little turny thing that lets you change what those buttons do.
Welcome to my personal movie theater. I have loads of movies of my aquatic friends. Use the joystick to point to one of my friends. Use the joystick button to find out more about them.
I'll say if I have one complaint, it's that a lot of the games tend to be, yeah, that's the undersea non-cyber granny, the organic granny. We love organic grannies here. The mini games tend to be a little uninspired and mostly just use the joystick. But let's learn about fish.
The wrasse changes color as it gets older. The adult humped wrasse is olive green.
Look at that Windows video codec fish. You can almost see something in that video with its dozens of colors.
That picture again.
Now let's look at some other ones.
Barracudas usually don't attack people. They sometimes swim close to people because they are curious.
Play with barracudas, friends. If there's anything learned from this game is that it's safe to get really close to barracudas.
That's great. Why don't you watch another movie about my friends?
Nope, we're getting out of here. Which I believe I do by hitting... I think I have to turn the key to start the cruiser back up. There we go.
Thanks for paying my movie theater a visit. You can come back.
This animation is
for
really
another
good, by the
showing
way.
anytime.
It's like a step above like Zelda CDI core. All right, so where are we going next? Where are we dropping, boys? We got to go... All right, I want to go see Marcy. So we're going to loop around. We're just going to turn left until we hit the... Okay, Marcy's in the lower right. We got to go see her. But while this is going... oh, which way I turn again? Turn in... No, we're going... Which way are we facing? I can't even... Right, I guess. I guess we're turning right. All right, let's go. Let's go full speed. So a couple other features on here as we're going blazing ahead. So first off, we can turn the lights on and off. Oh, we're going into a pirate ship. Whoa, let's take a picture of this cool pirate ship so we can look at it later in our photo book. Whoa. We can turn the lights on and off in our vehicle. Gee, that pirate ship was dirty. We gotta clean our windshield. Yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, we're not going to be able to play any of the non-Wonder Tools games just based on the technical limitations we ran into getting this set up. But in the future, maybe a future ROMchip Fundraiser, maybe... Why are you... No, I don't want to go right. I'm going left. This is beautiful. I'm taking another picture. Let's call someone else, too. Who are we going to call? Let's call number 1.
Hi there, Club the Grub here.
Club the Grub?
I'm in such a mood today that I've been singing "Stand by Your Clam" everywhere.
I'm never calling you again, Club the Grub. So yeah, that compass is actually showing you what directions you need to go. So in this case, it's letting me know, oh, you got a turn coming up. You got to prepare yourself. Yeah, all the kids love Stand By Your Man. Is this an educational dungeon crawler? Okay, only in the movement sense. For the most part, you're really just on like a straight track. This is, I mean, I think it is fair to say this is an educational Dragon's Lair, as we mentioned earlier. I don't think that's unfair. Oh, we got a turn. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that big clam down there. Oh, hello, crab. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, giant fish coming through. You're not going to see that in Age of Mythology. Anyway, folks, as we're getting to Marcy, remember, we are doing this as a fundraiser for ROMchip, the Journal of Video Game History. It is an open access journal for not just for academics, but for the general public to learn about game history. With your donations, they're helping publish some amazing video game history stuff. Stuff is a broad way to put it, but they do a lot of really great research they publish. So if you're enjoying this, honestly, I was thinking about food, and this might be a co-authored article about the materiality of this thing that we could write for ROMchip. Like, if you want to support that kind of research, donate to ROMchip. My goodness, this is what it's all about. Making sure that we can share these stories in a way that's not just
Attention C Mall shoppers.
post on Blue Sky.
Welcome to our sale aisle. Use the joystick
Oop, I hit the
to select
camera.
the item you want to buy. Press the round colored buttons to choose which starfish notes to pay me with. You could use the coins as well.
You probably could, Foon. That's a good point.
If you want to return to driving, just turn the key.
All right, so we're going to buy some stuff from the shop. So what do we want? Let's get a basketball. So there's a couple ways you can do this. We're going to select it.
Starfish notes.
So we can do this a couple ways. Now you can see here we got the red, blue, yellow, green. I like how so much in the game is color-coded. So we can hit one of these to just, get it immediately. So in this case, we can use 3 green starfish dollars.
3 starfish notes.
There we go. Now I heard someone...
You paid the right amount. There is lots more to buy in C Mall, though. Try something else.
ROMchip wanted a pie. Now this is where it gets complicated, folks.
Coin.
We don't have $1 star coins. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna use real coins.
1 coin. Now that's value.
Yeah, it's got a coin slot input. I don't think it tells the difference between the coins. They are all the same. They only come in 3 colors, not 4 colors. So they're all just 1 coin. But I want to put a bunch in, so we're gonna do it. Oh, yours didn't come with coins. Well, you got to get some giant plastic disc guy, I guess. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3,
1,
4. I'm gonna overpay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, there are too many lodged in here.
1 equals
9.
4 plus 1 equals 5.
Oh, it didn't count all my excess.
This starfish note is worth 5 coins.
Oh, it didn't even care about that I put too many in. That's All right, I gotta pull these coins out. They were getting jammed in here. I don't think you're meant to ever put 10 coins in at once. Ugh. All right, let's overpay for the popcorn. I want to get gently chastised by this fish. And exactly, it's every little Fisher-Price thing. But again, I think that's what's really neat is that, typically a toy, you are often bring your own imagination into it. I think it is there is something about having the interactivity feeding back to you where I understand why Fisher-Price was interested in this. Not just Compaq trying to expand their reach. So let's overpay.
Gave me too much. Try again.
10.
Gave me too much. Try again.
I want to tip you. 5.
Gave me too much. Try again.
All right. 2.
1 coin.
Did that not... I think I put him in too fast. I didn't read that one.
1 plus 1 equals 2. Now that's the value for money.
That's the value of money, kids. That's a really weird thing to say after shopping. That's the value of money. Yeah, I know. I just paid you currency. All right.
1 coin.
Okay, I think I gotta take it slow.
1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1.
Folks, if you're enjoying this, let's
Three.
get some $1 donations for all the $1 coins we're putting in here. We want Lane to be able to afford a bonsai tree and a pie and a really small life preserver and what is either a small basketball or a very large tub of popcorn. Yeah, for just like a random like peripheral. Yeah, this is actually really neat. Like, I get why they did this. I can imagine, you know, the boardroom meetings. I can imagine why folks were excited about this. This is a really cool thing. And of course, it was totally unsupported after the first round of software. You know, there wasn't like the next round of Wonder Tool stuff coming through. But now we're gonna play something a little different. We're gonna play. Oh no, I went home by mistake. Oh no. Well, maybe it's time to change games anyway.
Drive the vehicles with such gusto.
But we hit green. Is that didn't do anything? How do I select the camera? Can I just hit? There we go, camera. We can look at all of our fun pictures we took. Maybe. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, I wonder if you can. They have to just be saving them as bitmaps. I wonder if you can just put like any arbitrary picture in there. Huh.
Top of the morning to you. I just love seeing you drive the vehicles with such gusto.
I love seeing you too, funny dog. All right, we're gonna exit this. We're gonna try another one and see some other games because there are other like actual mini games, and some of them even have difficulty levels. So we're gonna take out Oops's new toy. This is warm to the touch. That's a little concerning. Let's swap this out. So Oops's new toy is out. I saw some hype earlier for Frogmella's Rollicking Log Ride, so we're going to play that next. I have not touched this one. This, I believe, is the only one that is currently dumped. I believe there's a copy on the Internet Archive of this. I could not get it to run when I first was trying this because, you know, obviously there are other compatibility issues at plays. So my goal, originally, the ones I wanted to play, I know I said I was going to play Myst, but I really wanted to play Doom and Crazy Taxi. I think would be a hell of a game with this thing. Future stream once we get this other part sorted, but right now I just want you to see what this thing is. I want to show you all the bits and bobs of it. And you know what? Maybe towards the end, maybe we will play Cyber Grannies, depending on how excited we are about the rest of the Wonder Tool stuff. But this is a hell of a piece of hardware. It is amazing that it works, frankly, at all. And yeah, I'm amazed there's no videos of anyone playing this.
Play.
Oh, I thought for sure this would be like, you know, an LGR video or something, but nobody's touched this thing. I have a pet theory, which I love bringing up, is about, you know, kind of how we write the narratives of video game history, which is that I think a lot of educational games got written out because a lot of the early video game preservation that was happening to make games, you know, available was happening through piracy. And piracy was only being done to games that people who are engaging in piracy wanted to play. So they didn't want to play educational games. They didn't want to see Winston Woofer. They didn't want to get in the cruiser and drive around and meet funny animals. They wanted to play, you know, like Hexen or whatever, right? So I think that's one of the reasons there's such a gap in educational games, partly because they were sold a lot of the time to schools and those then got lost over time. But I think, you know, unless it was something you were like, that you yourself were nostalgic for, you were not interested in playing educational games. So I think that's one of the reasons a lot of this is left, because unless you're someone who had this as a kid, you're not going to care about trying to preserve the Wonder Tools. So I'm glad folks are correcting that. I'm glad there's folks who are doing a lot of that work. Den's Quick, who I know sometimes on Twitch, does a lot of great work with that I really appreciate. All right, let's get this thing started. Vroom, 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 vroom. All right, who do we want to see? Oh, let's see Frogmella. Let's go on Frogmella's ride. So we got to turn right, left. Honk, honk, honk. Yeah, 4AM's project. The Apple II is a really good example of that. Look at this cool little forest. I love this. So there's another thing here. I noticed that I showed you this dial. If you turn it, there's a second row of inputs that we can use to change the music. Oh, we're going into a little garden. Oh, you don't like the snail with arms? I think he's great. Oh, look at those birds. Look at those pretty birds. Oh, there's an ancient ruin. Where are we? All right, so we got to turn left at this next one and then right at the next intersection to meet Frogmella. Let's call Frogmella, too. What the heck? Oh, hello, Toucan. Take a picture of that toucan.
I'm Frogmella the Frog. I'm the bounciest frog on the whole island. I'm glad to be your friend.
I'm glad to be your friend, too, Frogmella. Left, correct? No, I'm not going right. Arm snail. Go to hell. Oh, tumbleweed. I mean, I love the parallax graphic, the sort of like cutout effect. It's beautiful. This is a really beautiful game. The turning effect is less convincing when you're on a road versus when you're like in space or underwater where it feels like there's more room to navigate. Kira, it does not, but someone could hack it. Oh, we got a real minigame here, folks.
Make me jump from log to log. Use the joystick. Help me ring the passing bell. I need to be on the log beside the bell. Remember, if I jump in the water, my sneakers get wet.
Oh no!
Go.
Don't let her sneakers get wet. Oh, it's Frogger. Oop. So she gotta... Oh, it's...
I jump off if Caractacus or something else gets in my way. The
Oh, versus
frog
Caractacus.
can't
Yeah, we don't like
leave the
Caractacus here.
log.
Nope. Oh, do I have to... No, I don't have the right button. Alright, what do I...
Run.
There we go. I just gotta hit it while I'm on the log.
2.
Got him. I love all the ways that educational games try to justify or make sense of the activities you do. Where it's like, can I just hit this one over and over? Oh, I think I just have to go past it. I don't think you have to press the buttons. I just have to, yeah, roll past them. Alright, hit that one. There we go. I'm sure there is some justification for, like, this is teaching kids, you know, motor skills or something, but a lot of the time the justifications were flimsy. Oh! Oh, we're at level 2. Oh, hell. But don't pass Caractacus. Well, let's just get this one again. How many bells can we get? What's the max number of bells? How far can we do? 14, let's go. Also, I just noticed her lives are her sneakers up there. Oh, look at that conniving turtle back there. I do not trust, I wouldn't trust that turtle. I mean, he seems happy, but... Alright, I don't trust Caractacus, though. Oh, no, I hit up. Oh, she's drowning. Oh, no.
We jumped in and got wet.
Oh, no. We can do better than that. I believe we can get to like 24 or whatever. Oh, are we going to the next difficulty level? Oh, jeez. Oh. She gets scrolled off the screen. Where'd she go? Oh, she's up there. Oh, that's right. You can wait. She went up. That's right. Oh, this is getting tricky. This is actually challenging at this point. Oh, nope. I really don't like that drowning animation. That's really upsetting.
Follow up 2 more times. Be careful now. 21.
22. What's the max number? 24. 26 we need, right?
25.
To get max?
26.
Oh! I was so excited about hitting 26 bells, I lost track of where I was.
1 more time. Be careful now.
Oh, we're going past. Okay. I'm jumping into the...
Oh no! We fell in too many times.
This kind of is frog fractions, yeah.
To play new
So this is not making them.
notes button.
Oh. Let's let her say that again. 1 second. She says something about pressing the note buttons. I know you use those sometimes to select difficulty level. Oh,
To play again, press one of the notes buttons.
one of the notes buttons. Oh, you can start at level 1? Oh, 1, 2. Oh, so we can just jump. Oh, and you keep the same score. So we can just keep going. Thanks for joining the ROM. It's going to be 4 hours of Frog Melo's Rollicking Log Ride. We're so glad you're here. Yeah, if you're trying to do a high score check,
31.
let's talk to Caractacus. Oh, we can. Yeah, I think the speed tech is. Yeah, so that's the thing I want to say is that I think the games themselves are a little disappointing. I think, considering all the fun inputs we have, I haven't seen games yet that make you use the steering wheel. The most we've gotten is let's get out of here. I mean, maybe there's.
Ring another bell. 38.
Well, not let me quit. There we go.
Frogathon was frog-tastic.
Frog-tastic.
Thanks for playing with me. I need to dry off now. I hope
think-
you didn't get too wet. Come
From
back
what-
soon.
From what I've seen so far, the mini-games are really not that imaginative. They mostly use the joystick. I wish there were more that did things with, like, the keypad, which, again, I know that's there to being, like, calling your friends as that kind of toy. But it's still a little disappointing. All right, where can we go? Let's go to the elephant. Oh, the elephant's got little colored buttons. You see up there? Oh, colored barrels up there. So let's go there. Let's go see what's up with the barrels, because that could be, using some of those new buttons. Get out of here, snail. Nobody in chat likes you. Can we call the snail? Let's see. I can call a parrot. Yeah, I feel kind of bad that I just, shit-talk the snail there.
Calypso's nest. Hello there. Luckily, this phone is not heavy because I'm a tropical bird, not a crane.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Ducks! Baby ducks! Hell yeah! Let's go. All right, which way are we going now? We have to turn right to go into the... I missed that Miss Cleo died, by the way. That was a thing that happened. Not that, I'm actively thinking about Miss Cleo very often, but... yeah, we're maximizing our social link with the pair. Am I wrong about that? I could have sworn Miss Cleo died a few years ago.
Hello, and welcome to my color creator. To move the crayon to a color...
Yeah, sorry for folks who are
use
getting this
the
very sudden Miss
joystick.
Cleo news on this stream.
To color with it, use the joystick button.
Oh, I was really hoping... I assume we just go in here and, dip it to get new ink, but... I was really hoping we get to use these colors. That feels like a missed opportunity. Yeah, Miss Cleo was caught up in there was a whole scandal or something where it was fraud, or it was a whole thing, and then I assume there was a lawsuit, and then she kind of disappeared, and that's why no one heard about her. Also because we all stopped watching daytime television, I think is why too. Yeah, it is beautiful, right? I think they did a really good job with the graphics when you're moving around, especially considering it's all just pre-rendered video. It looks really great. Can you paint the island shadow? I don't think so. I tried and I wasn't able to get anything. Maybe we can change the picture. Nope, that's just music. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's that squirrel. Oh, there's a whole bunch of pictures you can look at.
You can make new colors. Mix the colors in my color creator.
Ooh.
Mix up to 3 colors at a time.
Oh, I see. So we can put...
Click the lever to empty the creator
This is very... Okay, here's a hack. You can use the mouse, so I'm just going to do that for the sake of time. Okay, that's actually a feature you don't see often in these kind of games. So let's do... Let's empty it. Can we empty it out? Is that what that is? There we go. Let's get some orange. There we go. Let's get some sand. Yeah, Foom said, I wonder if they're making these games all expecting them to fall back on just the joystick, but didn't in the end. That explained they didn't really put the controller to better use. Yeah, and the fact that, as you identify that there is a DLL that, oh look, they made an error, and actually there's a little gap in the drawing, so the color of the background just becomes the color of the giraffe's leg. But yeah, since there was a fallback command for debug that you found, yeah, I wonder if they hedged their bets on a lot of this. Which is disappointing. You know, if they didn't believe in it, who would?
Great painting.
Thank you. I agree. It's... Oh, whoops. Well, that's not great painting anymore. Well, there's that game. Let's check out a couple more games in this collection. I'm going to exit out of Frogmella's Rollicking Log Ride. All right. Frogmella's coming out. Now, I don't want to do Marcy because we already saw Under the Sea. I'm going to do the space game because we have not gone into space. All right, I got to put this away. Get that on camera so you can see nice and good. There we go. I don't know how I ended up getting on the weird peripheral beat. We have half an hour. Oh, that's right. We did go into space. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see what else we have. People do want to see Cyber Grannies. We'll save Cyber Grannies to the very end, but I want to try at least one more mini game. But let's do Moonbeam's Perfect Pictures, the space one. That's right. We went into space, but it much like Elon Musk's rockets, it went into space, but we did not safely make it back. All right. This goes in. Hey, Big Nerd Sam. Yes, this is. Hopefully one day we'll be able to use this to play things like I think Foxhack, I want to say, suggested we play Mech Warrior with it, which is a hell of an idea. Unfortunately, we can't do that because of tech restrictions, but that's something that we are actively working on and trying to figure out how we can make this thing work with other software. If you catch the VOD later, there was a whole half-hour lecture explaining what a mess this thing was to get to run. Oh, yeah, just because you can use the joystick, then you can use the wheel. Interesting, yeah. There's a lot of good options. All right, let's play this. Let's go into space. Let's do it. Let's play some mini games. Let's fly through an asteroid, and let's honk the horn correctly and not have it crash. I don't know what was going on with the squirrel game. This is running Windows 95. Yes, McMahon. This is we're actually running it on a vintage Windows 95 machine. So all the slowness, all the audio clipping you're hearing, those are like vintage bugs and issues that we just were not able to work out for this stream. But this is a proof of concept. Nobody has ever streamed the Wonder Tools Cruiser before. I believe we are the first to ever do this. I'm not going to show you the giant mess of cables we have, but boy, this was a mess to get working correctly. Horsetail, that's a good idea. Someone's gonna like play Elden Ring with one of these. I feel like I may eventually end up getting into the habit of loading this out to people to use for gimmicks. Let's talk to Moonbeam really quick. Let's pick up the phone. Okay, people want to see the mess. I can't really do it without moving the tripod. I don't know. I don't want to. I'll do it at the end. I'll show you what it looks like.
I'm Moonbeam the Moon Creature. Thanks for visiting us and showing off the rocket blaster. That's one sleek spaceship.
It is. We are showing off the rocket's blaster. All right, where are we going? Who do we want to see? So we're coming out there. If we go right, we'll go meet that little freaky alien dude. Let's go see the little alien dude. Yeah, exactly. We can rent this out as a service. Oh, there we go. And again, for folks who missed this earlier, what we're seeing actually, this is a pre-rendered video that's about twice as wide as the screen is. And what it lets you do is you can maybe 1.5 times as long as the screen. Whoa. Gregor Swung, in that Computer Chronicles video, they brag about, I think it was either in there or in the Business Week article, they brag about how it's damage proof. Which, you know, doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it sounds like they designed it with kids being rough with it in mind. Like, this wheel breaks away at some point. Like, there's little tabs. If you're really hard with it, it'll pop out. So, like, they did try to do a little bit of that. But yeah, worst case, conservation groups like if the Strong Museum of Play, for instance, when they have rare play things, they will occasionally 3D print new parts to replace them. I was up there over the summer at the Save the Games conference, and they had a oh, it's a puzzle.
Hi there. Great to see you. These are my picture puzzles for you to put together. To move the space tractor, use the joystick. To pick
Yeah,
up
exactly. I don't think
or
these
drop
buttons are
a
really
puzzle
gonna
piece,
hold up
use
to
the
being hammered on
joystick
too
button.
hard.
Good luck.
All right, I think we got this one. No one in chat backseat me on this one.
Wow. Excellent. Those puzzle pieces fit together perfectly.
But no, genuinely, yeah, the Ship of Theseus thing. Like, so the game I saw at the Strong was, it was this, like, antique
Great picture.
electromechanical
If
racing
you want
game.
to leave,
Oh.
just turn the key. If you want to play again, press the one-note button.
Let's do the 3-note button. Let's do the hardest one. This electromechanical game, and like they just 3D printed replacement parts for it to make it work. And it's you know, you can't really, they preserve the originals, but you can't really tell the difference.
But you can do it.
All right, this one's a little harder. And it does, I'm also not holding the button anymore. It just keeps it connected, so you can just kind of move this around. Oh, you can't. Gotta grab this.
Get a hint? Press one of the round colored buttons.
Ooh, let's get a hint. Oh, it's showing me it up there. I just realized. Oh, that's what the hint is. Oh, it toggles that on and off. See, again, I think that's a really uncreative use of the controller. I'm kind of disappointed that the minigames don't make better use of it, but I think the really fun application is going to be once we're able to get it working with other programs and on modern Windows. And yeah, this is the Super Monkey Ball joystick we're using for...
This shape is really shaping up.
Yeah, it almost feels like a fallback, like they're almost scared of... Like, it literally just maps to mouse input. Like, it's almost a degree of cowardice that I find disgusting, that they... That's too harsh of a word for it. But I think it does show a lack of... maybe... We don't know how this was programmed to develop, but maybe a lack of confidence in this, perhaps. And yes, the keyboard does have a touchpad, but again, that was... Oh, interesting. Yeah, Foom says that the keyboard is a touchpad. I bet they designed minigames to work with this the keyboard controller. That's possible. Yeah. All right, let's play another mini game. Then we'll do some Cyber Grannies because the people want it.
Get a hint? Your space-shaped work.
Yeah, Cyber Grannies, I think, is just going to use the keyboard and mouse. So there's not going to be anything particularly weird there. But I do want to see what the heck Cyber Grannies is. But yeah, that's a good point. Since all of these are standalone executables, that would make sense if they were developed in, separately from the actual, like, fun cruiser part of the game. All right, we're going to go into Space Station. I'm going to have to just keep turning right. Turn this thing on. Big Nerd Sam, that isn't a hand crank. That is a throttle. We can use this to... Right now we're going super fast. We can go slower. We can go... Oh, no, I just turned back the way... No, wait, that's the wrong way. Back up. Back up. No, don't go that way. There we go. And now we'll turn left. So since this... Like I said earlier, since this is just a big... Oh, no. A big video file. Since this is just a big video file, there we go. Yeah, doing reverse seek exactly doesn't work quite well. Yeah, we can't turn this all the way, but we can use this to decide it going, forward or backward. This is very, like, Body Wars coded right now, or Star Tours, the energy I'm getting from this. Also, Univ Park said, I feel like there's a chance that a younger child just be hitting buttons at random. Yeah, so that's the thing. I think, like, these sequences here, you can turn fully left or right, and it does not affect what actually happens. But again, it's like, it's giving, like, I think it's built on the, like, the bones of a busy box. And I don't say that jokingly. It's like, that kind of toy, it is a wheel you turn and it doesn't do anything. By having it on computers, you do have an extra dimension of play that, having that kind of, like, electronic interactivity. So for someone like Compact, this was, I love how it's using the, like, the videos to show you, like, docking it. That's really cool. But yeah, for Compact, this was a business development strategy. This was, hey, we're gonna do, we're gonna try to sell computer software to children, right? We're gonna try to get this into more families' homes. We're gonna try to sell people on Compact hardware. But I can understand for Fisher-Price the appeal of having really a different mode of play baked into this thing, where it's like, this is a new type of toy. They were being a little bold and like, okay, electronic toys are kind of the new frontier of this thing. Let's make an electronic toy, Goodness, why not? So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. This was informed by the sort of play that Fisher-Price designs their toys for, but instead they're doing it in a, like, computer hardware context, which I think is a different game design style than
Our mission is to collect satellites. Then we will trade the satellites for fuel. To move the shuttle, use the steering wheel.
this seems... Oh, here we go.
Careful not to hit any asteroids. Let's blast off.
Let's blast off. Arch, we do get to use the steering wheel on this one. Yeah, unlike every other game we've seen so far, that I think was informed by very different design language. I kind of like the idea of, like... Ooh.
1, 2,
Let's do a swipe here.
3,
Oh.
4,
Oh, no.
6, 7,
Oh, it's got a really unique honk.
9, 10.
Yeah, it's like, as a kid, you'd want to pick up the phone and always talk.
11,
I think there is something kind of novel about, again, I go back to that quote about,
13,
like, could you design a game for, like,
14,
people who are asleep, right? And it's like, I don't know what that would be. I guess they tried to do that with Pokemon Sleep, but it's like, no, I think there is, I think, an interesting design language in, can you make a design for someone who just wants to slam on all the keys and talk on the phone regardless of what was happening?
Trade your satellites for
22,
fuel. The shuttle needs
23,
fuel, or it will lose its
24,
power. I say, here comes a
25,
space station.
26,
Drive up the middle of the space.
27.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that little robot guy. He's great. Oh, we trade pieces for fuel. Okay. I've got a lot of pieces, so I'm not in danger of running out of fuel. We'll see if this one's got a higher difficulty mode, too. Very good.
Congratulations! We are now entering deepest space.
Oh, this is the hard mode. Okay. Oh, holy shit.
And the giant space suckers.
This is actually difficult. Oh my god, what the hell? What the heck? No! We didn't want additional vor! No! We're already done with the vor section of the ROMchip stream. What? No!
Go to a space station.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, get that in the vor. Tell the vor community, put that on the vor gaming spreadsheet. QDOT, get on that. They need to know about this obscure children's game with non-consensual vor in it. That was a risky move. Interestingly, only one of the mini games I've played actually mentions the fact that you can choose the other difficulties. It seems to be a feature in the other ones, but is not documented in every single game, which is unusual. It was the shark game in Oops' New Toy has tells you to do a harder difficulty, whatever. Hit the 2 note button, but it doesn't. None of the other games have mentioned it, so I wonder if that was just like an undocumented feature that only one game actually talked about. All right, so I think I've seen enough of this. The people want cyber grannies, so we're gonna do cyber grannies.
If you exit,
I don't know what to expect. I suspect we're gonna have to move the cruiser out of the way, and bring the keyboard in, but we'll see what happens. I have not tried it. I do not know what to expect. But we are in the last waning 15 minutes here of the Wonder Tools block of the ROMchip Fundraiser. Thank you all again so much. And again, I haven't mentioned it a whole lot this stream, but we are doing this to raise money for ROMchip, a journal of game histories. If you like what you're seeing, you want to support ROMchip because ROMchip is producing high-quality video game history research. I think a lot of times people think that research has to be something like a book, for instance, or a YouTube video. There's not really anything in between. People kind of expect it to be one of, a hand. It's like people ask us, how do you become a formal researcher at the Video Game History Foundation? And the thing is, anyone can do research. Anyone can produce research. And there's a lot of great research that can be done. That sounds like I'm talking in circles, but I'm saying this because ROMchip is approaching it differently. ROMchip, where did the cyber granny see? There it is. Okay, I couldn't find it. I'm talking a little bit in circles, but I guess what I'm getting at is that ROMchip produces game history that's not just, a giant 500-page tome. It's not just a video listing, here's all the games Nintendo made, but a secret third thing. Let's get that in there. Get that cyber granny. Let's show the camera, by the way. Cyber grannies. They produce high-quality game history that is, I will say it has academic rigor, but also is approachable for people who just want to study video game history and learn more about it. There's great stuff in there. And yes, as someone pointed out in chat, if you donate $20 or more, you'll be entered into a raffle. During my segment, you'll be entered into a raffle to win one of 2 books, a book about the Intellivision from MIT Press, and also the book Building Sim City by Chaim Gingle, which is a great book about the making of an iconic video game. It's one that's close to my heart. Another game that's close to my heart is Cyber Grannies. I have no clue what to expect for this. This is going to be a mess. If it loads. I see the CD lights blinking. We'll see what happens. Oh, we got to change the resolution. Okay. Or color, excuse me. Is it just going to... Okay, it's going to fail out. Got it. All right. Let's do this real quick. Got to have a little more troubleshooting on the stream. High color. Get out of there of that. We only believe in 256 colors in this house. There we go. And yes, folks mentioned the audio is clipping, and that's just a side effect of the computer we're using right now. What was Foon? You're in chat. Was it called like a snoot booper? What's the name of the audio card that's being used on this? It's a very silly name, but it's saying like custom made graphics card that there's not really drivers for. Yeah, not Snarkbarker sounds more accurate, but it has a very silly name to it. I think I have a picture. I took of it because it was so silly. Yeah, folks, guess and donate. Let's get to 8K for the Cyber Grannies. If you really believe in video game history. Sorry, it's the Snood Bloober. There we go. The Snood Bloober is the graphics card. But yeah, it's an aftermarket Sound Blaster type card. And point being, we did not really have drivers for it, so the audio is playing at full blast all the time. It's being adjusted after the fact with OBS. Again, hey, we had to make this work quickly, and this is the computer Foon had. Thank you again, Foon, so much for making this happen. This is truly a miracle that we're able to get this thing working at all, and let alone that we're able to stream it. What an adventure. Okay, we only got a couple minutes left. Come on, Cyber Grannies, don't let us down. Come on, CD drive. Read Cyber Grannies correctly. Is it... Oh!
Atoz the kangaroo. Welcome to Cyber Grannies. All the letters you see here represent doorways to the 26 wonderful grannies that you can visit.
26
All
grannies.
live in different places and do very different things. And they all just can't wait to meet you.
Oh goodness. So again, this doesn't use the cruiser. If you missed earlier when I talked about this, in addition to the cruiser, they also made a peripheral that was just a mouse, sorry, a keyboard with a touchpad that was easier for kids to use. So these might just all be mouse-driven games. I don't think it's even going to read the input from the cruiser, so we can't use this as a mouse, for instance.
Just for laughing. But
Analyst
we
for
have
laughing.
to remember to be quiet in Grandma Lena's library.
DOS Spider, no. Sorry, DQ Spider, not DOS Spider. It's because of the sound card that we're using on this computer. We're just using the Windows 95 computer that Foon had available, and unfortunately there's some sound issues with it. Yeah!
I'm Grandma Lena.
Library.
I'm the librarian here. Once you are in a library, you don't have to go far.
I don't like the
all
weird like
kinds of
claymation mouth
You just
look of
have
the
to
Cyber
look
Granny. This is
in
very
a
upsetting to me.
book. On my desk is a book I picked out for you.
Ooh. So L is for laughter, but it's also for library. N's for liquid. Is everything here L? The L is for lamp? My friend Caitlin back in Washington, D.C. called these games fuck around and find out simulators, which is not inaccurate. Someone was talking about Myst earlier. You want to talk about Myst? What about this Lighthouse book? Yeah.
Lighthouse.
But what book did she pick out for us? What am I doing? Why are we playing this?
Here is a game where you have to be fast. First, choose the type of activity you want by clicking on
So rather
one
than playing another middling minigame, people are frothing for Granny X.
An imaginary elf from Ireland who likes making mischief.
I don't know how to get out of here though. I might be trapped in the library. Let's escape.
Are you sure you want to quit?
No, but I don't know how to get out of Grandma Lena's. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, and there she is. You got to discover all 26 grids. All right, let's see Granny X. I want to know what's happening here.
You use X's to play X's and O's. I'm happy to introduce.
That's not
Grandma
vocabulary.
Zara,
That's
the
shapes.
xylophonist.
That's a different cognitive area. Oh, it's Xylophone Granny. Oh, is that an X-ray machine we can just turn on? Thanks for supporting ROMchip, a journal of video game history. ROMchip is helping produce high-quality video game history research with your support. There will be no article about Cyber Grannies unless you write it for ROMchip Journal. This is not a guarantee that ROMchip will accept an article about Cyber Grannies. I don't think you can hear it on your end, but Lane is losing their shit right now. Like Lane sounds like they're dying on the room we're in right now with their mic on. Oh, we're gonna get an X-ray with Grandma X.
X-ray.
Yeah, I'm just hearing this like continuous wheezing noise. Yeah, donate to ROMchip so we can afford to call an ambulance for Lane. The ROMchip healthcare program does not cover emergency vehicles, so we'll need your help. All right, can we play the xylophone?
You can play my xylophone by clicking on the keys or by using your keyboard. You can also make and play back your music by using the buttons at the bottom of the screen. Ring the bell if you need more help.
Is it a synthesizer? Let's see. Gotta play the lick. What else can we play in here? Oh, no, it's not. Where's D? E flat. I don't know if I can top that. I think that might have to be the end of the segment. I don't know where I'm going after Flintstones. What the hell was that? Waiting.
You're so far. It's so. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I cried laughing. There was just something about like Butch Granny X with her her tux and her slick backed gray hair and like
Queer icon Granny X, non-binary Granny icon Granny X.
It just like. Oh god!
Anyway,
Yeah,
folks, that's the Wonder Tools Cruiser. It's a magical device. No one has seen this before.
So first of all, I want to say, Phil, can you even believe that you thought you weren't going to get 2 hours out of that?
I thought the educational games were going to be boring, but I forgot to put aside explaining what the fuck this thing is, and then also Windows 95 crashing constantly.
Yeah, like 45 minutes of troubleshooting that people were really excited
with that
about.
With that out of the way, my 1 hour estimate was pretty good. But
yeah. So, there was a whole other version of this stream where Phil just like quit 1 hour in and started playing Earth.
I have SimCity 2000 on here as a
SimCity
backup
2000?
just in case we had to do something else because it's near and dear to my hearts, but we never had to dip into that well.
Yeah, thank you. So amazing work, everybody. We are at $8,079.89. We are 90% of the way to our $9,000 tier 2 goal. When we hit 9,000, I smash a piñata. Phil, thank you as ever. You are an incredible streamer. You make it so fun and so accessible for everyone. You are such a talent at this. And yes, I absolutely want a materials piece. Okay. So
okay, and stay tuned. Of course, once we get this working, we'll have to find some other venue to play Doom on this thing. But it's gonna happen. There's gonna be a follow up to this. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. All right. So, hello, everyone. If you are just joining us now, and I don't know why you would, like, if you missed that, what else is there? Anyway, for folks just joining in, I'm Lane Nooney. I'm the managing editor for ROMchip, a journal of game histories. We are an open access, hybrid audience, online venue for the publication of game history. What that means is that we develop, solicit, edit, and publish work across a range of formats, from traditional peer-reviewed articles, oral history, transcripts, long reads, object lessons, and translations on everything from board games, video games, analog games, sports, and play. Second, we have no paywall, no advertising, no logins, no predatory publishing model. We are modeling a different way to imagine what research publishing can look like. You never have to pay a thing to read the scholarship in ROMchip. You can check out that journal right now at romchip.org. And we are a hybrid audience, which means we're building a big tent around game history. We want to include as many people as possible. We think you shouldn't need a PhD to read or write for ROMchip. So as you can see below, we have raised just over $8,000 of 9K is our tier 2 goal. So first we were trying to fundraise to 7,000. That covers basically our base operating expenses. 9K is tier 2. 11K is tier 3. Yeah, I can still count. 9K, if we can get there, it gets us guaranteed another season of public game history research talks hosted right here live on Twitch, where we keep bringing on leading scholars and researchers of game history to share their work with you, the friends of ROMchip. And it's also, that money will also go to setting up the foundation of a new fund dedicated to paying freelance writers for their work. So 9K, 11K, the more we get, the more people we pay to make game history possible. ROMchip is funded only by our fans or supporters. We have no profit margin on any of this, right? No publisher. So we're funded by our readers, friends, fans, and supporters. So if you are able, donations, smash that link.